Dalit literature is a genre of Indian writing that focuses on the lives, experiences, and struggles of the Dalit community, who have faced caste-based oppression and discrimination for centuries. 1, 2, 3 This literature encompasses various Indian languages such as Marathi, Bangla, Hindi, 4 Kannada, Punjabi, 5 Sindhi, Odia and Tamil and includes diverse narratives like poems, short stories, and autobiographies. The movement originated in response to the caste-based social injustices in mid-20th century independent India and has since spread across various Indian languages, critiquing caste practices and experimenting with different literary forms. 6, 7, 8 Prominent works within Dalit literature emerged in the colonial and post-colonial period, with Jyotirao Phule's Gulamgiri, published in 1873, being a seminal work highlighting the plight of the untouchables in India. Numerous authors, such as Sharankumar Limbal, Namdeo Dasal, and Bama, have contributed to the Dalit literary movement, each offering unique perspectives on the Dalit experience. The Dalit Panther movement in Maharashtra and the influence of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, an advocate for Dalit rights, have played significant roles in shaping Dalit literature across India. Dalit literature has also been instrumental in the development of Dalit feminism, with the autobiographies and testimonials of Dalit women authors emphasizing the intersection of caste, class, and gender in the context of social exclusion. Prominent Dalit women authors, such as Urmila Pawar and Baby Campbell, have shed light on the struggles of their communities, providing a foundation for understanding the complexities of caste, class, and gender in Indian society. One of the first Dalit writers was Madara Chennaya, an 11th-century cobbler saint who lived during the reign of the Western Chalukyas and who is also regarded by some scholars as the father of Vachana poetry. Another poet from the same Jangam order, who finds mention as Dohara Kakaya, a Dalit by birth, whose 6 confessional poems survive. 9, 10, 11 The origins of Dalit writing can also be traced back to Marathi Dalit Bhakti poets like Gora, Chokamela and Karmamela, and to the Tamil Siddhas, or Chittars, many of whose hagiographies, in accounts such as the 12th century Periyapuranam, suggest that they may have been Dalits. Modern Dalit writing only emerged as a distinct genre after the democratic and egalitarian thinkers such as Sri Narayana Guru, Jyotiba Phule, B.R. Ambedkar, Iyadithas, Sahodaran Ayappan, Ayankali, Poikale Apachan, and others began to articulate the sources and modes of caste oppression. 12, 13 According to Satyanarayana and Taru. Although it is possible to identify a few Dalit writers from earlier times, the real originality and force of Dalit writing, which today comprises a substantial and growing body of work, can be traced to the decades following the late 1960s. Those are the years when the Dalit Panthers revisit and embrace the ideas of Babasaheb Ambedkar, and elaborate his disagreements with the essentially Gandhian mode of Indian nationalism to begin a new social movement. In the following decades, Dalit writing becomes an all-India phenomenon. This writing reformulates the caste question and reassesses the significance of colonialism and of missionary activity. It resists the reduction of caste to class or to non-Brahmanism and vividly describes and analyzes the contemporary workings of caste power. 14. Jaideep Sarangi, in his 2018 introduction to Dalit Voice, writes that Dalit literature is a culture-specific upheaval in India giving importance to Dalit realization, aesthetics and resistance. 1.5 Dalit literature in the colonial and post-colonial period came to prominence in 1873 with the publication of Jyotirao Phule's Gulamgiri, which depicted the plight of the untouchables in India. Since then, numerous writers have contributed to the Dalit literature movement, each offering their unique perspectives on the Dalit experience. Some of the most well-known Dalit writers include Mahasweta Devi, Arjun Dangal, Saki Ratre, Rabi Singh, Basudev Sunani, Bama, Abhimani, Pumani, Amayam, Marku, Mangal Rathod, Nirav Patel, Perumal Murugan, Palamalai, Sudhakar, and D. Gopi. Sharankumar Limbal, a prominent Dalit writer, described Dalit literature as a lofty image of grief that artistically portrays the sorrows, tribulations, slavery, degradation, ridicule, and poverty endured by Dalits. 16. There is an emergence of new and powerful Dalit writers who are transforming the literary space with their unique perspectives and stories in recent years. One such writer is P. Sivakami, who is considered one of the most prominent Dalit writers today. Her book, The Grip of Change, is widely regarded as a masterpiece of Dalit literature. Vijila Chirapid, another Dalit woman writer based in Kerala, has also made significant contributions to the genre with 3 published collections. Her writings typically explore the challenges and issues faced by women. Dev Kumar is a well-known Dalit writer and dramatist who founded the Apna Theatre in 1992. Through his plays, he has consistently worked towards arousing Dalit consciousness. Meena Kandasamy is a renowned feminist writer based in Tamil Nadu whose work is deeply connected to the anti-caste movement. 13. Dalit literature in Maharashtra. Edit. Dalit literature originally emerged in the Marathi language as a literary response to the everyday oppressions of caste in mid-20th century independent India, critiquing caste practices by experimenting with various literary forms. Subsequently, Dalit literature emerged as a remarkable phenomenon in various Indian languages. 17. In 1958, the term, Dalit literature, was used at the first conference of Maharashtra Dalit Sahitya Sangha Maharashtra Dalit Literature Society in Mumbai. 18. Baburao Bagul's first collection of stories, Jevha Mi Jat Chorali English, When I Had Concealed My Caste, published in 1963, depicted a cruel society and thus brought in a new momentum to Dalit literature in Marathi. Today it is seen by many critics as an epic portraying lives of the Dalits, and was later made into a film by actor-director Vinay Apt. 1920-21. Gradually, with other writers like Namdeo Dasal, who founded Dalit Panther, these Dalit writings paved way for the strengthening of Dalit movement. 22. Notable Dalit authors writing in Marathi include Arun Campbell, Shantabai Campbell, Raja Dale, Namdev Dasal, Daya Pawar, Annabau Saith, Laxman Main, Laxman Gaikwad, Sharankumar Limbal, Bau Panchbai, Kisha Shantabai Kale, Narendra Jadhav, Shankarao Karat, and Urmila Pawar. Shankarao Karat served as president of the 1984 session of Marathi Sahitya Sammelan Marathi Literary Conference held in Jalgaon. 23. Although the first Dalit Literature Conference, Dalit Sahitya Sammelan, was held in 1958 organized by Annabau Saith, a communist, who turned to Ambedkarite movement in the later part of his life. He is credited as the founding father of Dalit literature. 24-25. Dalit literature started being mainstream in India with the appearance of the English translations of Marathi Dalit writing. An anthology of Dalit literature, edited by Mulk Raj Anand and Eleanor Elliott, and Poisoned Bread, translations from modern Marathi Dalit literature, originally published in 3 volumes and later collected in a single volume, edited by Arjun Dangle, both published in 1992, were perhaps the first books that popularized the genre throughout India. 26-27. Poisoned Bread. The collection takes its name from a story by Bandhu Madhav about Yedalya Asia, a mahar who is forced to consume stale bread covered in dung and urine and dies as a result. Before he dies, Asia tells his grandson to get an education and take away the accursed bread from the mouths of mahars. 28. In 1993, Ambedkari Sahitya Parishad organized the first Akhil Bharatiya Ambedkari Sahitya Sammelan All India Ambedkarite Literature Convention, in Wardha, Maharashtra to reconceptualize and transform Dalit literature into Ambedkari Sahitya, after the name of the Dalit modern age hero, scholar and inspiration B.R. Ambedkar, who had successfully campaigned against caste discrimination and was a strong advocate of Dalit rights. Ambedkari Sahitya Parishad then successfully organized the third Akhil Bharatiya Ambedkari Sahitya Sammelan in 1996 and became a voice of advocacy for awareness and transformation. Since then, multiple similar literary gatherings were held in various places. 13, 29, 30, 31. Dalit literature in Bengal. Edit. The term, Cheral, a corruption of the Sanskrit word, Chandal, is often used as an umbrella term for scheduled castes, and the literature that emerged from this movement in Bengal is often referred to as Cheral literature. Some of the notable examples of Cheral literature include Jatin Bala's Sekar Chera Jiban, An Uprooted Life, and Samaj Chetanar Galpa, Stories of Social Awakening, and Kalyani Cheral's Chandali Nir Kobita. In Bengal, the development of Dalit literature was influenced by the leadership of Harichandra Thakur, a leader of the Motua community, and the inspiration of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. 32. The Motuas played a significant role in initiating caste consciousness and anti-caste movements in colonial Bengal, as discussed in Sekar Bandyopadhyay's The Namasudra movement, and Sumit Sarkar's Writing Social History. The Motua faith emerged as a protest against Brahmanical Hinduism in East Bengal and has since expanded to include various lower castes marginalized by upper caste domination. 3. These works deal with a range of themes, from the position of women in Motua religious teachings to the ethic of work preached by Harichandra Thakur, the significance of Harichand's teachings in the context of the Namasutra uprisings, and the relationship between the Motua Dharma and the writings of B.R. Ambedkar. According to Bandyopadhyay, Motua songs contain messages that aim to boost self-confidence and the collective ego of the depressed community. 34, 35, 36. However, the organized Dalit literary movement did not begin until 1992 after Chuni Kotal's death by suicide. 37-38 The protest against her death led to the formation of the Bangla Dalit Sahitya Sanstha and the launch of the magazine Chaturtha Dunia, which was dedicated to promoting and circulating Dalit writings. 32 Chaturtha Dunia, which translates to Fourth World, refers to the world of the fourth Varna of the caste system while articulating the experiences of living in a world within the third world. This magazine paved the way for several important Dalit writers in Bengal, including Manohar Muli Biswas, Jatin Bala, Kapil Krishna Thakur, Kalyani Cheral, Manju Bala, and many others. The autobiography of Dalit proletariat author Manoranjan Bayapari, Idabrit Chandal Jiban, has received critical acclaim from both readers and academics, further fueling the attention and popularity of Dalit literature in Bengal. Some other Dalit journals that are active in Bengal include Adhikar, Dalit Mirror, Nikhil Bharat and Neer. The Dalit Panther movement in Maharashtra led by literary giants such as Namdeo Dasal also played a significant role in inspiring the Dalit literary movement in Bengal. This movement yielded literature that was in stark contrast to existing literature in Bengal that took little note of social issues and concentrated on romanticism or nationalism instead. 28. Dalit literature in Tamil Nadu. Edit. The development of Dalit literature in Tamil Nadu has a long history, starting with the pioneering efforts of educated Pariyars, a scheduled caste in Tamil Nadu, in the late 19th century. Eyathithas Pandithar, a prominent leader among them, worked to build a new casteless Tamil society based on his research on ancient Tamil history. His rereadings of ancient Tamil history spread ideas of socialism, rationality, and modernity in colonial India. He also protested against Manudharmic Brahmanism and fought for the dignity and rights of the untouchable communities, urging them to identify themselves as Panchamar's fifth caste. Dalit intellectuals regularly published journals like Oru Paisa Tamilan, Parayan, Adi Dravidan, and Vajikatovan in the early decades of the 20th century, providing a space to discuss and denounce Brahminical ideals and notions of Swadeshi ideals. These journals played a pivotal role in augmenting the sensibility and consciousness of Adi Dravida politics and identity. Adi Dravida leaders appreciated the zeal and social commitment of the self-respect movement and urged Adi Dravidas to support it. They became a vital part of the self-respect movement and participated in the major struggles launched by the movement. 39. In the 1940s, there was a communist upsurge in Tamil Nadu that inspired and influenced Adi Dravidas, who took the lead in protests organized by the communists. Dalit writers like Daniel Selvaraj and Pumani were drawn toward Marxism, and their works represent the economic struggles of the Adi Dravida community. They established themselves more as Marxists by suppressing their caste identity. During this period, novels and short stories came to be written by Adi Dravida writers, marking the beginnings of Tamil Dalit literature. However, it was in the 1990s that the Tamil Dalit literary movement gained momentum. The Mandal Commission report triggered communal clashes, arousing Dalit consciousness and sensibility and motivating Dalits to form a distinct caste identity. Secondly, the Ambedkar centenary celebrations held in 1992 were a driving force among Tamil Dalits, bringing to the fore Ambedkar's ideals and thoughts. 40. The sudden surge in Dalit literature and arts gained ground over the course of the next decade. The annual Dalit Cultural Festival organized by the Dalit Athara Mayam articulated issues and problems related to Dalits. Dalit cultural festivals were conducted in Pondicherry and Neyveli in 1992. The Little magazine movement that had gained momentum throughout India in the 50s and 60s influenced the Tamil Dalit literary movement in the 1990s. This period witnessed a spurt of Dalit journals like Dalit Marasu, Kodangit later changed to Putiya Kodangit Manusanga, Dalit, and Malar Malar, which provided a platform to discuss Tamil Dalit politics and literature. Special issues on Dalit literature were also published by journals like Sabamangala, Nirapiragai, Kavathasaran, Alaku, Thinamani Kathar, Sathangai, contributing significantly to the development of Tamil Dalit literature. 41. Dalit literature in Punjab. Dalit literature in Punjab has a rich and enduring tradition shaped by the contributions of notable poets across different historical periods. The roots of this literary tradition can be traced back to Bhai Jeta (1657–1704), a devoted disciple of Guru Gobind Singh, who composed the devotional epic Sri Gur Katha. 42. In the first half of the 19th century, Sant poet Sadhu Wazir Singh (1790–1859) emerged as a prominent figure, creating a body of work that delved into spiritual, social, and philosophical realms. Wazir Singh's writings challenged established Brahmanical structures, advocating for gender equality and envisioning a society liberated from hierarchical constraints. 43. Giani Dit Singh (1852–1901), born into a rural Dalit family, played a crucial role in the Singh Sabha movement. As the editor of the Khalsa Akhbar, he significantly contributed to Sikh intellectualism. Dit Singh's works covered a wide range of subjects, from love lore and Sikh traditions to history and ethics, often critiquing popular religious practices rooted in what he considered superstitious beliefs. 44. Thadu Daya Singh Arif (1894–1946), born into a landless untouchable Mazhabi Sikh family, overcame educational challenges to write poetic works, including Zindagi Bilas and Sputar Bilas. 45. Dalit literature in Telugu. Telugu Dalit literature has a long history, dating back to the 17th century with poets like Potuluri Veerabrahmam and Yogi Vamana, who wrote about the evils of caste and untouchability. 46. A new generation of Dalit poets, artists, and intellectuals emerged post-independence and dictated the terms of Telugu literature. This movement brought literary art into the public sphere and aided socio-political movements in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. It mobilized the masses into a class struggle against existing feudal structures and oppressive forces. The Communist Party's Jana Natya Mandali played a significant role in taking messages to the masses through the tradition of oral storytelling and folk art among Dalits. Theatre forms such as Barakatha, Yakshaganam, Agakatha and other street plays became key instruments. This gave rise to activist singers such as Gadar, Master G, Gorati Venkana, Sudala Hanumanthu, Bandi Yadagiri and Guda Venkaya. Their songs gave an uncompromising call for revolution and over time found themselves in the mainstream Telugu industry. 47. The Karamchadu massacre in 1985 brought the collective conscience of the Dalits to the fore. It also brought together two Dalit intellectuals, Kadi Padma Rao and Boyja Tarakam, who led the Dalit Mahasabha in 1987. The Dalit Mahasabha mobilized the masses to fight against caste discrimination and atrocities on Dalits. Several student organizations, literary forums, and volunteer forums were constituted across the state. This movement gave birth to a new generation of Dalit writers and poets whose ideas were rooted in the fight for self-respect. Proudly adopting B.R. Ambedkar's principles as their foundation, they questioned the mainstream ideologies, Brahminical hegemony, and called out the hypocrisy of the communists. This gave birth to powerful Dalit poetry anthologies such as Padanekina Pada and Chikanena Pada. 48. The Dandora movement launched in the 1990s by Madigas protested against unequal treatment by Mallas. Similar sentiments were also raised by other sub-caste communities such as Dakali, Reli, Jambavas, among others. 47. Women writers such as Gogu Shimala, Jupaka Subhadra, Jajula Gauri, and Chalapali Swarupa Rani ensured that the voice of the Dalit woman is heard. Dalit literature in Gujarati. Edit. Dalit literature in Gujarati began to gain momentum in the mid-1970s with the launch of Puma, a literary magazine edited by Ramchandra Parmar. This was followed by the publication of several other magazines such as Akrosh, Kalosuraj, Garud, Dalit Banda, Naya Marg, and Disa. The rise of Dalit literature in Gujarat can be attributed to the influence of the Dalit Panthers movement in Maharashtra. In 1975, a group of youths in Ahmedabad started publishing a magazine called Panther, inspired by the Dalit Panthers. The movement gained momentum during the state of emergency imposed by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1975 and the anti-reservation agitations in 1981 and 1985. Initially, Dalit writers expressed their experiences and identities through poetry in magazines such as Kalo Siraj. However, the movement soon encapsulated other forms of writing, such as stories, novels, dramas, and autobiographies. In 1981, the first collection of Dalit poetry, Dalit Kavita, edited by Ganpat Parmar and Manishi Yani, was published. Another collection called Visvat, edited by Bakrishna Anand and Chandu Mahiria, was published in 1983. Asmita, a collection of poems published in the Dalit periodical Nyamarg between 1981 and 1983, was published by the Gujarat Khet Vikas Parishad in 1983. 49-50. The first Gujarati Dalit poetry was published in a magazine in 1978, with contributions from writers such as Nirav Patel, Dalpat Chauhan, Praveen Gurdvi, and Yogesh Dave. Ganpat Parmar and Manishi Yani later published the first collection of Gujarati Dalit literature. Other notable writers in the field include Sahil Parmar, Joseph Makwan, Harish Mangalam, Pathak Parmar, Mohan Parmar, Madhukant Kalpat, and B.N. Vankar. Joseph Makwan was the first Gujarati Dalit writer to receive a Sahitya Akademi Award. His works often overlapped between fiction and reality and were characterized by their simplicity and sensitivity. Makwan's novel Angliat is one of the most famous works in Gujarati literature and portrays the lives and struggles of the Vankar community. 51-49. Dalit literature in Odia. Edit. Dalit literature in Odia has a rich history that can be traced back to the 15th century. Sudramuni Sarala Dasa pioneered the social protest movement in Odisha during that time. As a Sudra by caste, he articulated the voices of the marginalized by writing in the language of the common people. His major works, the Odia Mahabharata, the Balanka Ramayana and Kandi Purana, focused on recent events and mundane affairs of real-life situations, which was a protest against the dominance of Sanskrit in literature and excessive concern with royal characters. 52. The Panchasaka poets, Balarama Dasa, Jagannatha Dasa, Ahudanda Dasa, Jasobanta Dasa, and Ananta Dasa dominated Odia literature from 1450 to 1550 AD, and also protested against Sanskrit's dominance in literature. They wrote in the language of the people and made major contributions to the use of plebeian Odia language in Odia literature. Their works, including Jagmohan Ramayan, Odia Bhagavata, Harivamsa, Premabhakti Brahmajata, and Hetudaya Bhagavata, translated the sacred books of the Hindus into the people's language. They also protested against the rigidities of life in temples and monasteries, seeking to rise above dualistic debates. 52. In the 19th century, Bhima Boy, a Kond tribal poet and follower of Mahima Dharma, continued the tradition of protest literature. His works, such as the Studi Chintamani, the Srutinized Gita, and the Nirbeta Sadhana, attacked orthodox rituals and customs of Odia society and sought to redefine and redesign societal norms. 53. In 1953, Dalit Jati Sangha Dalit League was founded by Govinda Chandra Seth, Santanu Kumar Das, Jagannath Malik, Kandhu Malik, and Kanduri Malik. These leaders, who were also creative writers, wrote literary pieces to bring awareness among Dalits. Seth's biography of Ambedkar and Das's novels, Afana, Vitamati, Sanya, and Furia, dealt with caste inequality and social injustice. 53. In the 1970s and 1980s, Dalits in Odisha began asserting themselves through their writings. Bhaikitrananda Nayak was a pioneer in Odia Dalit writings, publishing Anirbana Liberation in 1972 using the term Dalit in several poems. Other notable writers and poets include Krishna Sharan Behera. 53. It was not until 1991, during the Ambedkar centenary celebrations, that a significant number of Odia Dalit poets and writers were inspired to write about their own histories. Educated members of the community began openly discussing caste, class, and gender exploitation in Odia society. Notable writers from this period include Basudeb Sunani, Samir Ranjan, Sanjay Bag, Pitambar Tarai, Ramesh Malik, Chandrakant Malik, Kumaramani Tanti, Supriya Malik, Basant Malik, Akila Nayak, Anjubala Jena, Mohan Jena, Samuel Dani, Anand Mahanand, Panchanan Dele, and Pravakar Palka. 53-54. Dalit autobiographies. Edit. In the 1960s and 1970s, Dalit autobiographies in India emerged as a powerful tool for social and political protest. Baluta, a groundbreaking autobiography by Dagdu Maruti Pawar that questioned the caste system and the social stigma associated with Dalit names, was one of the first and most impactful works. Many other Dalit writers followed suit, asserting their identity and protesting oppression through memoirs, poetry, and autobiographical fiction. Anubhav Saith's autobiography Fakira, 1972, Baburao Bagyal's autobiographical novel Jevha Mi Jat Churli Hoti, 1963, Babite Campbell's Jina Amucha, Urmila Pawar's The Weave of My Life, Shantabai Campbell's Madhya Jalmachi Chitarkatha, Omprakash Valmiki's autobiographical poetry Juthan, 1997, Siddhalingayas Oru Kari, 1995, and Bama's Karuku, 1992, are among the notable writers and works. Authors such as Narendra Jadhav, Loknath Yashwant, Kumar Anil, G.K. Ainapur, Avinash Gaikwad, and Santosh Padmakar Pawar write of their achievements, while Urmila Pawar, Sushama Deshpande, Ashakirana Tram, Ashalata Campbell, Sandhya Rangari, Kavita Morwankar, and Chaya Koragaunkar explore the intersection of caste and gender. 55, 56, 57. Dalit women's autobiographies and testimonials in Dalit literature. Edit. The testimonio is for a Dalit woman a powerful medium to protest against adversaries within and without. Sharmila Reeg, The Weave of My Life, Afterward, by Urmila Pawar, translated by Maya Pandit 2008. Dalit women's autobiographies and testimonios have significantly influenced Dalit literature by highlighting the collective experiences of individuals and communities facing caste-based oppression and discrimination. These narratives emphasize the intersection of caste, class, and gender in the context of social exclusion. Prominent Dalit women authors have brought attention to the struggles of their communities, contributing to the development of Dalit feminism and providing a foundation for understanding the complexities of caste, class, and gender in Indian society. 58, 59, 60. Some prominent Dalit women authors and their works include Bama's Kuruku 1992. This Tamil work, translated into English with the same title, highlights the issues of caste, class, and gender as important markers for social exclusion. Bama's writing has been praised for breaking taboos and giving voice to the marginalized. Urmila Pawar's Aiden 2003, translated into English as The Weave of My Life, a Dalit woman's memoirs. In 2008, Pawar compares her act of writing about her life with her mother's weaving of bamboo baskets, representing the pain, suffering, and agony of their experiences. Shantabai Danaji Dani's Ratrandan Amma, for As These Nights and Days, 1990. This testimonio recounts her participation in protests against British colonial authority, her arrest and detainment in Yerwada jail in 1946. Dani was the secretary of the Nasik branch of Scheduled Caste Federation at the time, a significant accomplishment for a Dalit woman. Kumud Pawaid's Antisfat Thoughtful Outburst, 1981. Pawaid emphasizes that her outburst is not emotional but analytical, examining the experiences of individuals and communities. She highlights the double exploitation faced by Dalit women in a culture based on hierarchy. Baby Condiba Campbell's Jin Amush Our Lives, 1986. Campbell's work underscores the inextricability of the individual and the collective in Dalit narratives by contextualizing her life against the backdrop of the 5-decade history of the Mahar community. Janabai Kachru Guri's Deathly Pains 1992, as the first woman teacher and first woman of the Gopal community, a nomadic group, to write her testimonio, Guri offers insight into the lives of nomadic families and their experiences of hardship. Maji Me, by Yashodhara Gaikwad. Mala Udvastav H. I Want to Destroy Myself, a memoir by Malika Amar Sheikh. Dalit women's testimonios have been recognized for challenging selective memory and univocal history, both in the Dalit and women's movements. These narratives function as expressions of protest, resistance, and identity formation, asserting the subjectivity of marginalized individuals and communities. 6.1.